Hey everybody, my name is Mark and I'm with Rotor Garage. I'm going to show you how to hook up an external battery to an FR Sky X-lite, including how to take this son of a bitch apart. It's not friendly and it's not easy. Are you sitting there in your couch saying, oh no, that can't be done? I have a button that's going to prove you wrong. Here we go. Look at that shit. This thing landed on my doorstep just a couple hours ago. I went out, I got myself some 18500 batteries. I don't like them. They're garbage. I don't want to use that shit. That's why I don't use them in Fat Shark. They're garbage. High ohm, high resistance crap. Not my thing. So I'm using a Turnigy Hobby King 2450 milliamp hour battery. It's reading 8.1 volts. Everything's good. You believe me now? Good. Let's move on. We're going to unplug that battery. Fuck it. We'll do it that way. And I'm going to show you how I hook that thing up. There's the underside. Everybody's been curious about it. I haven't seen anybody else take this thing apart, but I did, because I always do. That's what I do. That's who I am. I just used some alligator clips to connect to the battery, just to make sure that I was in the right scene. The batteries are connected by one screw, and they pop out. The pitch on these plugs is a little bit narrower than a standard JR connector for a servo, so I couldn't find anything to work with. I'm just going to recycle those. I'm not sure how I'm going to hook everything up in the long run. Contact me for the finished product. So here's the inside of the product. I'm sure some people were curious. There's your Hall sensors. Oh my fucking God. Hall sensors. Yeah, anyways, there's some switches here. Here's your pots. There's your antenna connection. There's your USB. Here's your port. Here's your headphone jack. The battery connectors went here and here. The first thing that I saw when I opened this up that I was not looking forward to is that the batteries are connected here and here. I thought maybe it was running in parallel or the batteries had some weird configuration. No, that's not true. It's not true at all. Let's use this piece of paper to talk about how batteries are constructed real quick. This is an illustration of a 3-cell battery. Most of our batteries in drone are operated in series. When things are in series, and we're doing a broad stroke here, folks, it goes from positive to negative on the inside, and then on the out is where you draw your final voltage. If these batteries here were 1.5 volts each, this would be 4.5. Do the math, figure it out. It's not that hard. So we have the same situation going on here. This is a proof. I'm doing this proof because I want everybody who makes this hack to understand how to proof this themselves so they know that they're doing good work and they're not going to unleash the soul of the unit with a little puff of smoke. We've all done it. Let's avoid it, okay? This is a cheap unit, but I don't like throwing $100 away nonetheless. So we are using a continuity check here on my multimeter. You can see it's all zeros. Open circuit goes to 1. Closed goes to 0, or at least damn close to 0. So what we did here is we found out that the inside connections, inside, is a closed circuit. What does that mean? Well, that means that what we are tapping into, pretend it's a 2-cell, we are tapping into here and here. We don't have the batteries installed, but the connection between the batteries to make them series is still a closed circuit. So that's a win. Thumbs up, all right? Enjoy yourself. This is great stuff. Great stuff. Wait till later in the video when I get high on magic markers. That's when it gets exciting. All right, we're going to continue our proof. Again, when we get a closed circuit, it goes to 0. When it's open, it goes like that. So we want to find out where the ground is. Almost always, the outer shell of a USB connector is a ground that is reliable. You can almost always use it. It happens to be that the second pin in here is the ground for the module. Well, what do you know? There's a ground. So that means that this outside one should also be a ground. Hey, that's it. But this one here is also a air quote ground. No, it's not. Watch what happens. I am absolutely on that pin. It does not ground out. Why is that? All that represents is this connection here. It's not attached to any ground. It's not attached to a circuit board anywhere. It simply connects the nipple to the ass of 2 batteries. So that means that this inner one here, making a closed circuit for us, that tells us absolutely that we have ourselves a 2-cell situation that is running inside that PCB and we connect on the outside. I'm going to hold these guys here for a second just so you can memorize it. Black on the right, red on the left, positive, negative. That's your connection. That's all you need to do. Drops mic, walks off stage. Okay. That's everything that you need to know there. Let's talk about this unit and some of the other things. These end caps, taking batteries in and out to charge them without an internal charger, no way. Not going to fly. Not going to last. Don't like the engineering. It's just garbage. Not going to use it. These particular battery compartments, they're super tight. Depending on the battery that you got, may not even fit in there because some asshole manufacturing battery puts a fat label on it and that fucks your whole show up. I don't want to talk about that either anymore. So getting back into the construction of this thing, it's usually like this, right? Right? Right. So how did I get it apart? Not easily. That's the short answer. I popped out a screw here and a screw here. They look like 2.5 millimeter ABS self-tapping screws, about like this. I don't know how they taste, but I do plan on eating them later. The other holes here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those holes are for adjusting the gimbals and they have nothing to do. If you are using those and there's screws, take them out before you do this. This is attached using tabs. Tabs like this guy right here. These tabs are identical to tabs that you would see on a CRT television, you know, the one with the tube. This is how they always assemble a front and a back panel. Super duper similar. I could not get this thing to budge once I popped the screws out. Don't worry, you can always use a hammer. What I ended up doing instead of the hammer was I gave a twist to the unit like this. Not as much as my hands moving, just a little bit of a twist and a little bit of stress. When I did that, I saw the seams, they began to separate here. That's good news. I was able to split it and open enough and get this in here. This tool here is a nylon poker, not a hot poker, not a metal poker, a nylon poker. The reason this is important is because this is about the same hardness or possibly softer than the material you're working with. If you stick a screwdriver in there, you're gonna fuck shit up. I already have a couple teeth I chewed into that. They're not too bad. So use yourself something soft. It could be wood, but these are critical for any electronic engineering that you use. I have a full set of them and it took 2 of them. The other one being right here. Okay, so once I got it twisted, I got this thing in here and then I was able to start moving it around and get it to pop open. It was not easy and it was not friendly. The tabs on the outside here connect 1, 2, 3, 4 times. On the side here, you'll also see these little teeth. Those are guides. Then you have 2 additional tabs here, 1, 2. They connect into these guys right here. You can see, pulling it in, manual zoom, there and there. The other connections, they're same on both sides. They go here and here. Be careful or you'll do what I did. I broke one of those fucking tabs off. Not happy. Oh well, I'll live. So will you. So to get this thing off, you just want to give it a little bit of twist initially. You'll see a little bit of a crack. Take a soft nylon style wedge device and stick it in there. Twist it some more, get a second one, then you're able to start moving it. Eventually I had one side sort of popped off like that and it came undone. There are also tabs on the inside. If you can get in there and push them like this, that direction for this tab, that's great, but I couldn't. It was a pain in the ass. Another thing that's going to be in your way is these battery connectors. Do you like me talking about finger banging? That's what it looks like. So these battery connectors, they sit in here basically like this. The problem with these battery connectors is that son of a bitch to get your tool in there far enough to make a wedge. But I made it happen. I made it work. It's done. We're going to finish modding this thing now. If you have any questions on this engineering or what we do, please feel free to reach out. Be nice or I'm not going to respond. Additionally, I don't do a lot of videos anymore for drone because I'm busy and I'm doing a lot of stuff. We build about 5 drones a month here sometimes from scratch, so I don't have time to do this. But since nobody else is putting out there, I figure I'll try to get number 1. I hope this helps. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you see me on the field, that's not me.